All right, guys, new intro here for the Bear Pack. We already crushed the 7K subscriber goal, so we are going to update that board here for you guys. Look at Joe Burrow, looking at all these nice, tasty giveaways. We have the 8K sub jersey giveaway. We have the 9K sub sports memorabilia giveaway, 10K subs, the big one, $1,000 giveaway, and the 12K subs. We're going to send a couple people to a game of their choice. Guys, we are very excited for the football season, but no more talking. Let's get right into this video, Trey. All right, guys, let's get some NCAA football picks and props for Friday, September 22nd slate of games. Before we look at the leaderboard, we have our live show Friday night, 7 p.m. Central. Today, when you're watching this, our show is live tonight, 7 p.m. Central. We have 6 games going to break down, all ranked games. We have our underdogs of the week. We went 3-4 last week with our underdogs of the week, and our parlay lock of the week, which we are 3-0 so far in college football. You don't want to miss this live show, 7 p.m. Central tonight. Go check it out. Trey, let's take a look at the leaderboard. Start us off.
Yeah, and the leaderboard, I went 0-1 last week because I gave out Toledo minus 6.5 versus San Jose State. And Toledo, they ended up winning this game, but they did not cover for us. They only scored 21 points in this game, half of what they averaged through the first 3 weeks of the season. So Toledo won, but I didn't.
Seth?
Yeah, and I took App State minus 8.5 versus ECU in this one. They were able to cover this spread for us.
Yeah, and then I went 2-0. I had the Iowa Hawkeyes team total over 35.5, and I also had them to cover 28.5 points against Western Michigan. I thought this bet was dead in the water, and then they went for it on 4th and goal on the 3, cashing the over team total and covered the spread on the last play of the game for the offense. Was a wild ride. I thought I had no shot. I even tweeted it out. I said Iowa can't move the ball on offense. I tried a little bit of reverse psychology on them, and it worked for them. So I'm glad that they finally pulled their head out of their ass and they were able to put up a lot of points on a very bad Western Michigan team. But 2-0 on that day. Let's move on to our plays for tomorrow. Trey, start us off.
Yeah, and I did not learn my lesson because I'm going back to the San Jose State game. I'm going with the Air Force at San Jose State. I'm pretty pumped to watch this game, mainly because we have to support our troops. So that's why I'm going to be going with the Air Force to absolutely dominate in this game. But I'm going to be taking them to score over their team total, which is 26.5 in this game, which I think is far too low. Because Air Force, they're simply just a dominant team. They're 9-1 over their last 10 games straight up, and their only loss over that was to Army last season. They even beat Baylor in their bowl game last year. Meanwhile, over that span, they're averaging 26.5 points per game, which is legitimately right at this number. But through the first 3 games of this season, they've turned up the juice. They're averaging a whopping 31.3 points per game, which is almost a touchdown over this number. And this San Jose State defense, yes, they did hold Toledo to 21 points last week, but they're getting a completely different offense and a completely different scheme with Air Force. And with this being a short week, I just do not think that they had enough time to prep for it. So give me Air Force to score over their 26.5 team total versus San Jose State.
Yeah, Trey, I love that play. Air Force finally woke up last week. They looked dominant last week, so I do love that play. Seth?
Yeah, guys, and I like NC State minus 9.5 on the road against Virginia. I know Trey loves attacking the University of Virginia, and I took that game away from him, so I do apologize to him. But I'm going to take NC State here minus 9.5 on the road. We talked a lot about NC State for their first game, and I talked specifically how I really like NC State's offense with Brennan Armstrong reuniting with his old offensive coordinator. On top of that, Armstrong will be going up against a team that he spent 5 seasons with before transferring to NC State. Virginia has really struggled this season to get anything going. NC State is clearly the better team here. Virginia lost a heartbreaking game to James Madison last week, and this is a team looking for something to go right for them and are lacking the confidence I believe they will need to even be competitive in this game. Virginia's defense hasn't looked good at all this season, and they have issues keeping opposing teams out of the end zone. That is why I like NC State here to be able to cover at minus 9.5. The big thing here is, will Virginia be able to score enough points to stay in this and cover the spread? I'm going to say no here. I look for NC State to go on the road and put it to Virginia.
Yeah, Seth, I do love that play as well. For my play today, I'm going to be looking at the Wisconsin Badgers traveling to take on the Purdue Boilermakers. This has been a rough start to the season for both of these teams. I had really high expectation for Wisconsin, and they have not looked great so far with their new head coach and their new offensive look. I didn't have high expectations for Purdue. They started off the year 1-2, losing a tough game to Fresno State at home in their opener, and then losing to Syracuse last week so far. But the stats here for Wisconsin, I'm going to take Wisconsin. Wisconsin has dominated this matchup over the years, winning the last 10 head-to-head matchups, covering the spread in 7 of those 10 meetings. The Wisconsin's Badgers this season have not looked good. Like I said, they haven't covered the spread at all this season, but this is an only touchdown spread. I do think that Wisconsin is a far better team, even though they haven't played like it this season. Purdue's having a very hard time at turning the ball over right now. They had 4 last week, and Wisconsin forced 6 turnovers last week. That just goes to show how bad Wisconsin offense did play, having 6 turnovers, 5 interceptions, and a fumble recovery. Only scored 35 points, being outgained by Georgia Southern in that game. However, I do think Purdue is going to have some turnover troubles in this one again, and it's going to give Wisconsin some more extra possessions. They need them in this offense. They find a way to win this game on the ground, covering the touchdown spread. Wisconsin minus 6.5 as my play tomorrow. Guys, let's move over to the player props. Trey, start us off.
Yeah, and we're transparent. We really struggled last week, but for me, I had at least an excuse, I guess, because I give out Travis Hunter over 76.5 receiving yards for Colorado State, and I truly feel like Hunter was on his way to go in the over in this game because Shedeur, he threw for 348 yards, so Hunter definitely would have ate, but he got injured early in this game by a questionable dirty, maybe not dirty hit, who knows, but only finished with 21 receiving yards, so that was tough to watch.
Seth?
Yeah, guys. I went against a guy that was an early season Heisman favorite, and it backfired. He went for over 400 against Minnesota. So I had Drake May under 21.5 fantasy points. He had been playing awful. He came out hot in that game and shattered the over.
Yeah, and I had Howard for Mississippi State. They looked like dog crap against LSU. LSU's on the revenge tour. I had him over 1.5 passing touchdowns. The only time that Mississippi State was in the red zone, the passing touchdown came from the running back. So that should tell you how bad they were playing that game. I think they got killed by 25-plus points. But we're moving on to tomorrow, guys. We're 0-3 last time. Let's go 3-0 today. Trey, start us off.
Yeah, and I'm going to start us off here. I'm going to be attacking Brennan Armstrong. I'm going to be going with over 251.5 passing yards versus Virginia. That's by the best. I love to attack Virginia, and Brennan Armstrong is a perfect prop for it because Bear knows exactly where I'm going with this because this is a perfect revenge game special here for Brennan Armstrong. And because like Seth said, he played at Virginia for 5 years. He basically spent his entire life there. And then he transferred to a much better program at NC State. And I think he's just going to put it on him throughout this game because Virginia's defense is pretty doo-doo because they are the 90th ranked defense out of 133 FBS teams. And they allowed 260.7 passing yards per game, which is over this number. And with Armstrong being the best pocket passer that they've faced all season, yes, I know they went up against Tennessee and Joe Milton in week 1, but Joe Milton, I don't think is as pure as a pocket passer as Armstrong is. And the main reason why I love this over is because of sheer volume that NC State passes the ball. And through 3 games, Armstrong has averaged 35 pass attempts per game. So we would only need him to average 7.2 yards per attempt, which is easily doable going up against this Virginia secondary and the skill players that NC State has. So give me Brennan Armstrong to go over 251.5 passing yards versus Virginia.
Yeah, Trey, I love that playing a revenge spot for him. Seth?
Yeah, and I'm going to be taking a receiver from the game that Jesse picked. I'm going to be taking Chimere Deke over 42.5 receiving yards in this game. As Jesse said, Wisconsin has really owned Purdue in this matchup. This Purdue team also ranks outside the top 100 in pass yards allowed per game. Because of this, I will be taking the over. He has a really good QB and a QB that I was in pretty high on in Tanner Mordecai throwing him the ball. And this Purdue team is awful at stopping the pass. DK has hit the over in his last 2 games. He had 57 in his first game and 75 in the game before that. I do think with how bad Purdue's pass defense is, they will allow quite a few yards here. Give me the over for Chimere Deke as I think Wisconsin will attack this defense through the air.
Yeah, Seth, I do like that play. But for my player prop, I'm going to go with Braelon Allen to go over 79.5 rushing yards against Purdue. The over, I mean, you said the over-under. You're more confident in the over with the passing game. I think the under might hit in this game. 53.5 points. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's too many points. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I think the Wisconsin defense is a lot better than they looked in the first 3 games. And I do think that points are going to be hard to come by in this one. Wisconsin should be getting most of their production on the ground with Allen, so that's where I'm going to go. In week 1 against Buffalo, he put up 141 yards. And last week against Georgia Southern, he put up 94 yards. And the game against Washington State, Wazoo has a pretty damn good front 4, so he was bottled up in that game. He only had 7 carries as well, though, so, I mean, I can't really put that against him. I'm really attacking him because of this Purdue rushing defense. Last week, they let the quarterback of Syracuse, Garrett Schrader, run for 195 yards and 4 touchdowns on them. The running back also went for 80 yards as well. I think Wisconsin has a better offensive line compared to Syracuse, so they should be able to get separation off the ball, pushing the Purdue defense back, giving Allen a lot of lanes to run through. Give me Braelon Allen to go over 79.5 rushing yards as my play. Guys, that's going to do it for our NCAA football plays and props for Friday, September 22nd slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. We'll see you guys next video, and thanks for watching. Just want to let everyone know that while we do give out free picks, plays, and predictions on our YouTube channel, we also have a website for you to check out. On our website, bearsprofitplays.com, you can subscribe to the website absolutely free with an email and gain access to our written articles about upcoming sporting events. If you're really looking to make some cash, we have an option to become a member of our website. If you become a member, you will gain access to our locks of the week, which are written articles that go in depth as to why we are picking that particular outcome. As of now, our member plays have been red hot, hitting over 60% of our plays. If you don't want to become a member, it's no sweat. We are here to try and make you guys some money. That's our main goal. So come on over to bearsprofitplays.com and subscribe for free. Check us out, follow our free picks, and see for yourself that our member plays are a great investment for you. Thanks for watching.